Hey guys, how's it going? Today, in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a bad USB disguised as a simple cable. And if you guys don't know what a bad USB is, it can do something like this. When you plug it into a machine, it emulates whatever keystrokes you tell it to do. And in this case, we're opening up YouTube and playing Rick Roll. So let's build this thing. Alright guys, let's get started and build this thing. So we are going to need three things to build this bad USB rubber ducky disguised as a cord. And that is first our bad USB. We're going to be using the High Let Go bad USB off Amazon for 15 bucks, which we're going to show you a little bit later in this video. Next, we're going to need the USB housing that I used for this, which I'm going to have a link also in the description. And if you don't have a 3D printer, you can have a friend print it for you, or there's services online where you can get stuff 3D printed and shipped to you. And then last, we're just going to need a regular old white cable that you can snip and use to glue in your fake USB adapter, and then we can glue everything together and make our bad USB disguised as a USB cable. So let's get started with that process, and I'll show you how we can disguise this bad USB into a cable that looks like this. Okay, so here is the Amazon page of that High Let Go bad USB that we are going to be using for this product. And what's super cool about this is you can just take it out of the housing that it's in, and it is just a super mini portable bad USB that emulates keystrokes with Arduino. So you're going to need an Arduino compiler to code on this thing. But once you have that installed, it is a breeze to code on. It's super easy, and ChatGPT will even write you some Arduino code to emulate keystrokes. Next, we're gonna grab this object file right here and 3D print it. This is what I use to put in the USB from the High Let Go bad USB, and this is what is housing it now. And this was the idea behind it originally, is so that you could use a broken USB cable as a flash drive housing and just make it look inconspicuous so nobody would use your flash drive. But I thought we'd use it for an even better purpose, and that's to hide a bad USB. So this is the 3D file that we are going to be 3D printing and using for our bad USB cable build. And then right here is just a website, Hack5, who sells a ton of different hacking stuff and who has a cable called an OMG cable, which does exactly what we're about to build. And it's a bad USB, but it's built inside of an iPhone cable, and it looks a little better than the one we are building, a little bit more professional, like it's straight out of the factory. But nevertheless, I think the one that we are building today looks pretty good for being 1/10 of the price. Also, there is a ton of different resources for scripts and payloads for your rubber ducky, whether that's in Arduino or actual ducky script. Even Hack5 has some payloads on their site that you can go to and check out if you're wondering about that. So now that we got all that out of the way and showed you what we need to build this thing, we can go ahead and get started. Okay, so now we can grab our High Let Go bad USB and take it out of its housing. Then it will fit perfectly into our 3D printed piece right here. And now we can move on to the next step. Now we can take any old cable that we have laying around that we don't have a use for, and we're going to chop off that USB end. Then we're going to take that end that we chopped off and we're going to glue it into the USB piece that we printed out, that we just put our bad USB into. And you can choose whether to glue your USB in place or not. I'm going to choose not to because it's a pretty tight snug, and you can pull it out if you want to or leave it in. But we're going to go ahead and add some super glue to this now and feed our wire in and wait for it to dry. And then we're going to move on to our next step. And that's simply going to be putting in the bad USB into the top of this thing and finishing it off as a bad USB hidden inside of a USB cable. And it looks like this. And that is how to hide a bad USB inside of a USB cable. So that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Now you can hide your USB inside a cable and prank your friends or family with it by having them plug it into their machines and doing a Rickroll or whatever payload you upload to this thing. If you guys like this video and want to check out some more, then check out this video where I get ChatGPT to write me some ducky script. So that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.